Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, March 19th. Welcome to Panther News Network. I'm Gaby Handcock.
And I'm Cohen Parker, and here's what's happening today.
NASA's Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, who gained international attention as their planned short stay in space stretched into more than a 9-month politically fraught mission, and are finally home. Williams and Wilmore, alongside NASA's Nick Hogg and cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov of Russia's Roscosmos Space Agency, safely splashed down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida at 5:57 p.m. ET. The crew's highly anticipated return came after the crew climbed aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule and departed the International Space Station at 1:05 a.m. ET. The quartet are part of the Crew 9 mission, a routine staff rotation jointly operated by NASA and SpaceX. The Crew 9 capsule launched to the space station in September, with Hogg and Gorbanov riding alongside two empty seats reserved for Williams and Wilmore, who had been on the orbiting laboratory since last June, when their original ride, a Boeing Starliner spacecraft, malfunctioned. Safely reaching Earth concluded a trip that, for Williams and Wilmore, has garnered broad interest because of the unexpected nature of their extended stay in orbit and the dramatic turn of events that prevented them from returning home aboard the Boeing Starliner vehicle. Welcome home to the Crew 9 astronauts, NASA's Nick Hogg, Suni Williams, and Butch Wilmore, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov. Your dedication and unwavering commitment to space exploration inspires us all. Boeing Space shared on social platform X after the crew returned safely home.
Breaking news from Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump has fired two Democratic members of the Federal Trade Commission Tuesday, both commissioners saying they were illegally fired. Commissioner Alvaro Bedoya has posted a statement on X regarding his termination. It states, "I'm a commissioner of the Federal Trade Commission. The president just illegally fired me. Now the president wants the FTC to be a lapdog for his golfing buddies." Rebecca Kelly Slaughter, in a separate statement, said, "The president illegally fired me from my position as a federal trade commissioner, violating the plain language of a statute and clear Supreme Court precedent. Why? Because I have a voice, and he's afraid of what I'll tell the American people." The FTC was formed 111 years ago to establish consumer protection laws and antitrust laws. Under chair at the time, Lena Khan, Biden administration, took on major cases like the Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger and the Kroger acquisition of Albertsons. The FTC commission was made up of 5 commissioners with at most 3 commissions from the same political party. Khan went on X as well at calling the firings an illegal attempt to remove the commissioners, also stating a gift to corporate lawbreakers that squeeze American consumers, workers, and honest businesses. The firings is just another example of Trump weakening independent watchdogs and regulators in Washington significantly. Trump also is limiting the operations of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which was the first watchdog created after the global crisis in 2008. Alvaro Bedoya also written, "Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or someone who's disgusted with Washington, you can barely watch the news, the FTC has worked for you." Current FTC Chairman Andrew Ferguson stated on social media that he had no doubts and constitutional authority to remove commissioners, which is necessary to ensure democratic accountability for our government. Many critics disagree with that statement, as the agency has been struggling with antitrust cases due to the departure of Lena Khan. Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts also issued a statement saying the courts must reinstate the commissioners. Donald Trump just illegally fired 2 independent commissioners at the FTC, with 2 fight big corporations that abuse consumers and workers. A White House official confirmed all dismissals.
For your PVAMU news, today was the honors convocation, and we got to hear musical selections by our very own PVAMU concert chorale. However, during their performance, the chorale did a very brave motion and voiced their not even opinions but wrongdoings of the way their chorale has been asked to do any and everything, but haven't been reprimanded in return. While I'm saying voiced, it's ironic because they actually voiced their concerns by not singing and putting on masks and holding signs, always featured, never funded. Our education, not your entertainment. No arts, no vision. And finally, respect our voices. The chorale has been denied funding to attend ACDA, the American Chorale Director Association conference, where they were the only HBCU to be invited to this conference. This protest was not what some as are seeing as a distraction during convocation, but a call for accountability. Our PVMU Chorale has been called for many events, including the last PVMU Day at the Capitol. However, they're being asked for these events as entertainment and can't even be given anything in return, especially when it's highly deserved and earned. We're tired, exhausted. We show up, do the work, and do everything we have to this university. Jocelyn Dorsey states, our chorale is tired and deserves more in return for their many efforts they have given to this university, and they were there to finally speak up and try to do something about it.
Tuning into local news in Houston, Texas, a judge has set a pretrial conference hearing for Wednesday morning for the case against former HISD Chief Operating Officer Brian Busby. Busby's home was raided 5 years ago by the FBI in connection with allegations that he conspired with a landscaping business for a multi-million-dollar kickback scheme using taxpayer funds. Before his termination in 2020, Busby oversaw an annual operating budget for more than $260 million and led a workforce of more than 7,000 employees, which included faculty, maintenance, and operations of school grounds. Federal prosecutors have already entered a list of approximately 1,000 exhibits they are intending to use as evidence should the case to proceed in trial. Court documents show the exhibits include photos of surveillance from 2018, credit card statements, tax returns, and HISD contracts, and handwritten payment and text messages between Busby and his co-partner, Anthony Hutchinson. Prosecutors also allege Busby helped award construction and ground maintenance contracts to Hutchinson, who was an HISD vendor at the time, who was also in exchange for cash and hundreds of thousands of dollars in home remodeling according to court documents. Hutchinson's company billed HISD for $6 million in work and was in motion to perform, however, never completed, including a former HISD Board of Education president. In 2022, the U.S. Attorney's Office announced a federal grand jury returned a 33-count superseding indictment against Busby and Hutchinson. Both have been charged with conspiracy, bribery, witness tampering, and took steps to interfere with the investigation, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Hutchinson is also going to a wire fraud charge. The U.S. Attorneys previously stated Busby hid his involvement in the alleged bribery scheme by making cash deposits into multiple bank accounts. They also allege he filed fake tax returns that didn't claim any of that money or benefits as income. A statement has been issued by the news release in 2022 from the U.S. Attorney's Office regarding the case. It states, Hutchinson obtained cash he used to pay bribes to HISD officials by writing company checks to vendors who cashed the checks and provided the cash to Hutchinson. Hutchinson falsely stated on the memo of line of the checks that they were in payment for work that had been performed on HISD properties. He then caused the checks to be improperly deducted on corporate tax returns as business expenses. Hutchinson also caused his gambling losses to be improperly deducted on corporate tax returns as alleged business expenses his companies incurred on HISD construction or landscaping projects.
This has been Panther News Network. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Here's your remaining news for the day.
Students at North Carolina, A&T State University, and Howard University have started running clubs. The Aggie Run Club at A&T started in August of 2024, and the 1867 Run Club launched at Howard in the fall of 2024. Seeing the impact and culture of running clubs in different cities influenced each club's existence, and their respective leaders hope the clubs will continue after their founders' graduation. A&T students Caleb Boyce and Jalen Lee created the Aggie Run Club after Boyce interned in Atlanta and Lee in Nashville, Tennessee, where there are established clubs. Howard students Kari Davis and Avery Cloud started the 1867 Run Club in the fall of 2024 after exchanging texts about their idea during their summer internships. I was scrolling on TikTok and I just kept seeing run clubs, and I was like, hey, let's start a run club at Howard. And he was like, all right, bet. Davis said, and then from there, we kind of planned everything out. And as soon as we got back to campus, we kind of started it. Seeing how run clubs were getting really popular throughout the whole country, I figured it would be good to implement here at A&T and build a community where students are supporting each other through fitness goals, as well as making a space where everyone is having fun and a good time, he said. The Aggie Run Club runs every Tuesday and occasionally on Saturdays around North Carolina A&T's 188-acre campus. The club also hosts many social events after running, including hot chocolate drinks for participants and taco nights at a local restaurant. From day one, we went with heavy promotions because we felt like Aggies would like to engage with this sort of thing, Lee said. Our first run was huge. We had between 60 and 70 people, and they all came out, and now we have a constant group of 40 to 50 people on Tuesday runs and spontaneous Saturday runs, and keep things fun and interesting. Several local organizations and businesses have partnered with the Aggie Run Club to promote their brands, including event promoter College Days and fitness trainers HBCU Strong. It's really giving people the space and opportunity to be their true selves, Davis said. Like, you can get out there and after a long day of work, you get to be with some of your friends. You guys get to catch up on the day and talk and chat while jogging, running, walking, and just getting that kind of physical activity. Boyce wants his club to be a staple on A&T's campus and a community for all Aggies. I want the Aggie Run Club to be that one thing that everyone, regardless of what major or where they're from, it will be a place where everyone can be a part of, he said. Lee sees Aggie Run Club as a point of connection.
Tuning into some more HBCU news, sophomore Josiah Ozula is currently making waves in classical music. He recently earned two prominent honors that underscore his exceptional talent and dedication. The Dallas native was awarded $1.5K in grants and made a name for himself in the statewide Music Teachers National Association competition for string instruments. Azula stated about the award, "It's an honor to receive the award. The foundation's work is essential in providing opportunities for young black violinists and black musicians in general to succeed." Ozula is also said to be inducted in the BVF's fifth class of Black Violin Youth. His achievement is part goal BVF's mission to empower youth musicians by expanding access to quality music programs that encourages creativity and innovation. Ozula first discovered his desire for the violin at age 11, being inspired by his older brother's performance on the viola. His journey from a curious child to an elite musician is marked by nothing other than hard work. While attending Plano East High School in Texas, he was a successful applicant of the BVF grant, in which provided him the funds for violin lessons. Ozula also competed in the MTNA national competitions in November 2024, in which he secured first place in the senior division for string instrumentalists, representing Mississippi very well. After winning the competition, Ozula stated, "I felt accomplished. I appreciate the MTNA for giving me the opportunity to compete. It was a great experience and I hope to do it again." At JSU, Ozula is a computer engineering major with a minor in violin performance. LaTanya Ellerby, assistant professor at JSU, stated, "We're lucky to have Josiah as a part of Jackson State. He's an excellent academic and a wonderful musician as demonstrated by these achievements. He could have been anywhere, but we're proud he chose us. With those outstanding accomplishments of his, there is no doubt Azula will continue his bright future for music."
On to our entertainment news. Ryan Reynolds is asking a judge to drop him as a defendant from Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit, claiming that Baldoni's argument against him has no legal bounds and amounts to only hurt feelings. The filing claims that the lawsuit Baldoni filed against Reynolds and wife Blake Lively is based on 2 times that Reynolds allegedly called Baldoni a predator, but that nothing in Baldoni's suit suggests that Reynolds did not believe this to be true. Mr. Reynolds genuinely, perhaps passionately, believes that Mr. Baldoni's behavior is reflective of a predator, Reynolds' filing reads, adding that calling someone a predator amounts to a constitutionally protected opinion. Reynolds' lawyers also claim Baldoni's thin-skinned outrage over a movie character, referring to the Nice Pool character in Reynolds' Deadpool and Wolverine movie, does not even pretend to be tied to any legal claims, and instead is just Baldoni alleging that he has hurt feelings. In the motion, attorneys for Lively and Reynolds wrote that while Lively sued Baldoni and his business associates for sexual harassment and subsequent retaliation, Reynolds has nothing to do with the situation and that his only involvement has been as a supportive spouse. Baldoni accused Reynolds of assisting Lively in hijacking his film It Ends With Us and taking down his career. He also claimed that Lively sought to take over much of the film's creative direction, including having Reynolds, who had no formal role on It Ends With Us, rewrite a scene and make unauthorized changes to the script in secret. Baldoni also accused Reynolds of reprimanding him at the couple's home in New York, claiming that Reynolds once swore at Baldoni and accused him of fat-shaming his wife, and alleged in his lawsuit that Reynolds made fun of him in Deadpool and Wolverine, mirroring the character Nice Pool after Baldoni in an effort to mock him. Reynolds is also accused of telling an executive at the talent agency WME that Baldoni was a sexual predator in an effort to encourage the agency to drop him as a client. Mr. Reynolds has a First Amendment right to express his opinion of Mr. Baldoni, which should be comforting to a group of people who have repeatedly called Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds bullies and other names over the past year, Reynolds' attorneys said. A spokesperson for Reynolds added that Baldoni's case is a frivolous, telling CNN on Tuesday. "We look forward to the lawsuit being dismissed." Both Baldoni and Lively's attorneys have previously said that they do not intend to settle. The trial is currently set for March 2026. If Reynolds' motion to dismiss is not granted by the judge, one of Hollywood's biggest stars could be brought into the legal drama and called to testify in a highly publicized case.
For more news and entertainment, this puts the break in breaking news. Apparently, after 2 years of relationship status, Jonathan Majors and Megan Good last night secretly gets married. Majors confirmed the marriage this morning on The Sherry Show. Getting emotional, Majors stated, "I said to Megan yesterday, today might be the happiest day of my life. I love that woman so much. We fell in love. We finally got to do it, but it was always a plan." In addition to sharing that was his mom, a pastor, who served as their officiant, Majors also shared that he asked Megan's dad for permission. It is Majors' first marriage and Megan Good's second marriage following the previous marriage to Devon Franklin from 2012 to 2022. The newlyweds first met in October 2022 at the Ebony Power 100 Gala and began in May 2023. The following year, they chose the annual bash as the occasion to announce their engagement. Megan told E! News at the gala, "Ebony Power 100 is the event we met at the in the bathrooms, in the unisex bathrooms. Since going public about the relationship, she doesn't shy away about how majors have been in her life. About the relationship, Megan stated, "It was an amazing journey and I cherish it deeply. The relationship has taught me about unconditional love, what it means to be loved in the fullest of who you are and to love someone who brings out the best in you. Congratulations to the two in marriage and praying for an awesome journey."
That's been your news for today. Keep watching to see the rest of our Panther News Network team's daily segments. But first, here's your weather update. Take it away, guys. Good evening, Prairie View. My name is Gaby Handcock, here to sprinkle some sunshine into your evening with the latest forecast update. Tonight, expect clear skies with temperatures dipping to a crisp 43. As we head into Thursday, the sun takes center stage with a high of 75, making it a great day to enjoy the outdoors. Whether it's a picnic at the park or a bike ride, don't forget your sunglasses. Friday brings partly cloudy skies with a comfortable high of 76, accompanied by a gentle breeze, ideal for a casual stroll. And as we roll into the weekend, Saturday kicks off with the mostly sunny skies and a high of 81. By Sunday, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds with temperatures reaching 82 degrees. There's a slight chance of an afternoon shower, so keep an umbrella handy just in case. Looking ahead into next week, temperatures are expected to hover in the mid-70s with a mix of sun and clouds, and a few scattered showers may make an appearance. But don't worry, nothing too serious to dampen your plans. Remember, weather can be as unpredictable as finding a parking spot on campus, so stay updated with the latest forecast. Enjoy the beautiful week ahead, Prairie View.
The majority of the black population knows about the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the famous "I Have a Dream" speech, Montgomery bus boycott, and the fight for freedom. You get the gist of it, right? He had the knowledge, wisdom, and support system to make him arguably the most powerful civil rights leader of all time. But one underrated factor that is hardly taken into consideration at times is the woman in your life. And I'm not talking about just mothers. Some of the most amazing black men who did great things in life had an amazing queen next to them to encourage, care, and support the significant other. That being said, the introduction isn't necessary. Coretta Scott King was born on April 27th, 1927 in Marion, Alabama. She is mostly known for being the wife of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Coretta Scott graduated from Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio. In 1951, she enrolled at the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston. While working on her degree of the vocals, she met Martin, who at the time was a graduate theology student at Boston University. They got married in 1953 and had 4 children together. After the two had completed their studies, the Kings moved to Montgomery, Alabama, where Dr. King accepted a position as a pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. Coretta also joined her husband in civil rights activism in the 50s and 60s, taking part in the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 and contributed her own efforts in passing of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Following the tragic assassination of her husband in 1968, she continued her activism and founded the MLK Nonviolent Social Change in Atlanta. It is now called the King Center. The family's attempt to sell portions of King's papers brought her great criticism around the late 90s. Coretta wrote a memoir in 1969 called My Life with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Also in 1969, she established an annual Coretta Scott King Award to honor African-American authors of an outstanding text for children. A similar award was added to honor African-American illustrators. She passed away on January 30th, 2006 in Rosario, Mexico. In February 2017, a report came out that she issued a statement that opposed the nomination of Jeff Sessions that was read by Elizabeth Warren. That was the most controversial reading in 2017 because she wrote that back in 1986. She will never go unheard and will forever appreciate her contribution and toughness she brought for Black society. I'm Cohen Parker, and this has been For the Culture.
That concludes our show. Be sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at KPVU-TV. This has been Panther News Network. I'm Gaby Handcock.
And I'm Cohen Parker. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.